Hi. So I promised several people who DM'd me that I would share with them some hip exercises after I gave the information on how to test your hips and see if they're weak. Because, again, just for a little review, the hip, the bone that goes between the hip and the knee, it makes up half of the hip and half of the knee. So muscles that affect the hip will also affect the knee. So one of my favorite ones is as simple as finding a nice sturdy dining room chair, and I'm going to float down, and this is just what we did to test the strength, and then float up. If I can't do that without plopping into the chair, then I definitely have weak muscles in my bottom, which is hips, and in my thighs, which is more knee. So I might have to use a chair with arms so that I can start to gain strength in my hips and my knees. Now, here's some common mistakes that people make. One, crashing my knees together and plopping down into the chair. That will not gain you strength. Your feet need to be hip width apart, and your knees need to go out over your toes, okay? So knees over toes, not together. It is very common for women in my age group or older to have been taught that women keep their knees together and sit down like a lady. This is terrible for your hips and your knees. Don't believe it? And get used to doing this. I mean, I realize if you have a short skirt on, you're going to have to probably do that. But most of the time, most of us are wearing pants these days. So if you can work up to 3 sets of 10 of that activity, it will really help the strength in your small hip muscles as well as your thigh muscles. So that's a really good exercise you can do. Another good exercise is if you have stairs in your house or a curb, this step is 9 inches. You might not want to start on a 9-inch step. You might want to start on a 4-inch step. So you can actually stack some thick, heavy books. You can even duct tape them together if they're books that you don't want to read again. And I'm just going to step up. I'm going to be very aware of using those hip muscles. Let's say I'm pre-surgery and I can't do it on my injured leg. You can do it on your better leg. You will still have some carry over onto your affected leg of the strength transferring. So you can do the step ups, and again, you don't have to use a 9-inch step. You can use a 4-inch step or even a 2-inch step so that you can strengthen your hip. The last one is, these are my Trek poles. You can get them at sporting goods stores like Academy, Dick's. You can get them offline like Amazon. I'm not sure if they have them at Walmart, so you're on your own, but you use a cane too if you have canes. And I mean, I don't have to use these, but so I'm keeping my knees straight. I'm going to show you this from 2 different angles. And I'm going to lift my leg up to the front, okay? Keep in mind I do this for a living and demonstrate this all day long. So out to the side. So I might have a lot more range of motion than you do. Don't worry about it. Do what you can do. If this is what you can do, do that. If this is what you can do, do that. So it's what you can do, not what I can do. Don't compare yourself to me because we have different bodies. Then you're going to lift your leg up to the back. So again, the goal is 3 sets of 10 in each one of those directions. I encourage people to do it on both legs, not just their injured leg. Why? Because balance is crucial through the body. And we tend to say, yes, but my whichever side, my left side is weaker, my right side is weaker, because I've had knee pain. But the truth is, you've probably changed the way you move based on the pain. Because it's like, well, I can get through this day. I can get through another day. I get through a whole nother year or even more than a year. And what happens is I develop dysfunctional movement patterns. I develop movement patterns that are significantly out of balance. So The goal is to bring those movements back into balance. Check out my website, innovativetherapypc.com, for more information and more connections on how you can help your hips and your knees. I'm Mary Thomas, physical therapist and developer of the Body Power System.